Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about how to plant up and troubleshoot your Brazilian rosewood. Now, before you plant your Brazilian rosewood, you have to take a very close look at the seed structure. So these seeds, as you can see, they're just tiny and they're kind of paper-like. Now the paper-like part isn't really part of the seed, it's just a part of the seed mechanism that helps it travel through the air from the tree to a place where it could rest and sprout into the ground. So kind of think of maple trees, you know how they have the little helicopters that spin down. There's only that hard part of the samara that is the seed. The rest is just fluff. You don't have to worry about that. So if you do receive your rosewood seeds and it seems like part of that has become disconnected, that's okay. Unless you're gonna like throw the seeds at the pot and hope that they just like fly and end up in the soil. Actually, don't do that. Just don't worry about it. As long as that hard little nugget inside of that paper-like tissue is okay, you're fine. They're just so very fragile that just a little bit of like moving around can make it disconnect. So that's fine. Now the best way to soak these little seeds, since they are so tender, is to fold them up in a paper towel. That'll give them like a little sleeping bag that they could just soak up some water and break down a little bit before they go into the soil. So, you know, you want to put them in nice warm water, keep them in a warm spot. Now what I do is I wrap it in the paper towel, I put them in a shallow bowl, and then I put them on my warming pad. So that warming pad keeps the water at a constant temperature and the seeds can just kind of do their thing without worry of fluctuation of temperature of the water. Now, when it's time to extract the little seeds from the paper towel, I like to tear the towel instead of trying to unfold it because it gets really messy and it's like, you don't even want to deal with that. It's more of a hassle than it's worth. So you just kind of tear it and then you find your little seed. Now you're going to want to place the seed directly on top of your prepared soil. Make sure the soil is a nice consistency. Make sure it's kind of damp to start out with, because you don't want to put your little seed in there and then pour a bunch of water in, because your seed could just travel all over the soil and then get either too deep or like over on the side and spread out the side, which is just kind of unsightly. So once you get your little seed on top of the soil, take a little bit of that leftover soil that you may have and sprinkle it on top. You don't want to compress too much. We want a nice coarse surface area so that when you water, the water is going to permeate directly into the soil, not run over the sides. That's a very, very important part. You want to create a very harmonious hydration level in your soil. So with the Brazilian rosewood, the number one reason that they're not going to sprout is that they're not kept hot enough. Now think of the name. You got Brazil. Brazilian rosewood. Where's Brazil? It's hot down there. There's like rainforests and the Amazon, jungles. I mean, it's hot. So you have to think about where these guys are from natively. They want to be hot. They want to be, you know, just sweating. So you need to find a hot, hot place to put that pot. I like to use a warming pad. It's going to be the most efficient way of keeping your pot warm. Some people have greenhouses that are kept at a constant 75, 80 degree temperature. That's just, if you have that, that's great. If not, you could grab that warming mat off of Amazon. I think I got mine for maybe $10. You could get big ones, you could get small ones. It's all deciding on what your goal is. I mean, heating mats are just awesome. They're just game changers in the seed world. So once you get these in their hot spot, and let me just throw this in there, it has to be a consistently hot spot. Just putting it by a warm window with sun, like I'm getting out here, it's not going to be enough. Because when the sun goes down, when it gets dark, you know, that sun's not coming in the window, and your little plant is going to be reliant on whatever your HVAC system is pumping out, which usually isn't hot enough, unless you keep your house at 85, which seems a little warm. But anyways, you want to keep it consistently hot, not just hot and then cold, hot and then cold. That will prevent them from sprouting. Very important. Now, with the Brazilian rosewood, depending on the amount of heat that you pump into the soil, you can see growth within 2 weeks. Usually it's 3 weeks, but 2 weeks if you're really lucky. Just keep up on watering. Make sure they don't desiccate. Make sure you spritz the topsoil and do a good thorough deep watering at least twice a week. And of course, use our toothpick trick. You know, put a little toothpick down into the soil. If you can pull it out without any soil sticking to it, that means the core of the soil is dry. So you want to do a deep water. If you can pull the toothpick out and no soil or soil sticks to it, then it's damp. You should be okay for another day. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, we're here to help. We care about these seeds. That's what makes us different. We actually want to make sure that every single seed that goes out to a person is coached. If there's a problem, we're there to help. So shoot us an email at wecare at shopgardenrepublic.com. Find us on Facebook, or even just, put a comment underneath the video and I'll respond to it. Happy gardening, everyone.